of mind this week for traders and investors, the Fed and inflation. We have Dan Deming at KKM Financial. Starting us off today, Dan, PPI for November rose 7.4%, slightly above the 7.2% expected. Wholesale prices came in about 1% higher, but we still have the consumer price index to go. What's the reaction and the anticipation?
Well, it's going to be a bumpy ride, Angie. The market was a little disappointed in the PPI data since it did come in above what the expectations were, but that was negated a little bit by some of the consumer sentiment numbers that came in about inflation expectations just shortly after that last week, Angie. So, heading into this week, as you mentioned, the big numbers are going to be CPI, which is, again, more highly watched than PPI as a data point anyway. Couple that with the Fed announcement and retail sales. We got a lot this week to digest, and that could potentially influence the market.
As the Fed meets this week, what's your prediction on the rate hike?
I think they're going to go 50, Angie. I think they're going to scale it back a smidge, 25 basis points. It basically was enunciated, I think, by Fed Chairman Powell a couple of weeks ago that they're going to slow the pace, not necessarily stop, not a pivot, but at least slow the pace. So I expect that they're going to go 50 and then reevaluate as we move into January. I don't think the PPI data will be enough, Angie, to influence them one way or the other. I suppose, the CPI data is going to be just before the announcement, so I don't know if that would influence their track as well, because they're looking at a longer-term perspective, I believe.
Have a good week, Dan.
All right. Thanks for having me, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.